What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us today. Yet another edition of Throwback Thursday. Jeff, I know you've been enjoying the content as much as I've been enjoying digging through and putting it all up and together.
I'm not gonna lie. I was trepidatious watching this, especially my stuff. I hate watching my stuff, you know that. But it's been interesting to go back and watch it because, as I said, I become less of a dick as the shows go on Talk Wrestling, which is thank God I did because the first show was so bad. But man, you have been like reaching into the vault, man. I almost feel like I want to grab Mickey Mouse on SNL. I'm like, no, protect the content. They didn't sell. So man, such good stuff to watch, and today is no exception, sir.
Yes, thank you once again to Aaron Rift of the NoDQ YouTube channel, James Hebert of the JH95/FTW Productions, Noel Foster from the Simple Man brand, and of course, you, good sir, for the
Yes.
Jeff Meacham Network, for allowing me access to all the content that was previously discussed in private
Yes.
amongst all of you guys, because there are limitations about what can and can't be posted, but
Yeah, unfortunately.
especially a big thank you once again to Aaron Rift for allowing me access to the no DQ stuff. That stuff has really helped make the process and the Throwback Thursdays succeed and thrive, I think.
Absolutely.
Sit back, relax, everybody, enjoy as we bring to you yet another week of Throwback Thursday content.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Jeff Meacham Network.
JJ, Jeff, you want to kick this thing off? Because I'm still trying to process everything here.
Yeah, it's like
Who wants to go first?
Yeah, who wants to go first?
well,
Come on in. It's open mic night with your host.
you could maybe say there's really 4 topics, but it's split into 6.
The Renegade, JJ Williams.
The Sammy and Eddie Kingston thing, which one's the better smelling turd?
And his panel of co-hosts.
I am the founder. We'll call me that for today since we're going with the Jeff Jarrett love theme here this week, according to JJ.
The West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham.
Karma is karma is karma.
That's professional wrestling! Damn it!
The Simple Man, Noah Foster.
It's showtime! Yeah! How you doing, JJ? How you doing, Jeff?
James.
Yeah.
And the He-Man, James Hebert.
Imagine Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Paul White, the Baldies! There you go! It sells itself!
God.
Get in there!
Short his ass and shit the bed.
He's not Amber Heard.
Give it time, JJ, give it time.
Now, I'm sure Jeff has some stuff that
Dumb move. Just don't pull this bullshit again. You get one.
Tony needs to stop caring about the ratings.
Bradshaw said as long as the ads are in place, we're not going to lose that third hour.
Ring of Honor does not have to be AEW Live. They don't necessarily have to coexist with each other. You kind of saw that tonight to a degree.
Along with a panel of guests.
He's no longer glorious! Don't you bring that up! You want me to rant about what my NXT used to... Nope, we are done here for the night. I swear, James.
Because you never know who may show up for open mic night.
I leave our company in the capable hands of an extraordinary group of superstars, employees, and executives.
The first thing that came to my mind was, it's about damn time.
Amen!
I literally touched everybody in the state's trash. So it's horrible, you guys.
Peyton's new thing is Dennis the Menace, but it's funny because she calls it Dentist the Medicine.
That's great.
When Elliot Taylor came out and did Born for Greatness live, I was popping my pussy, having a great time. I didn't care. I was having so much fun.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Fuck Bill Belichick.
We had it on wrestling, and then you bring in that shit. That's just how the fan goes off the damn rails. Brilliant, bloody brilliant.
After returning to an era of honor, paying tribute to those who have already paved the way, watching as a brand seems to have regained its identity, and unbelievable memories and moments from last night, including a completely unexpected one. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jeff Meacham Network is proud to present Night 2 of our coverage of sports entertainment's greatest event, WrestleMania!
And welcome back, everybody, to the Jeff Meacham Network. Here on YouTube, of course. If you're watching on social media through the YouTube link, we appreciate that as well, but we'll be getting more into that later. Again, I can't thank everybody near the hell enough for yesterday. Just an unbelievable moment. Just so heartwarming to have everybody, all the tributes to me personally here on the air, and everybody on that was watching. That was our most watched show since Revolution last year, as far as the watch-alongs, and that's my most watched WWE watch-along since SummerSlam back in 2020. So again, thank you all so very much for making that a thing. Give me 1 second here. That's just the link to watch, comma. I didn't expect you to be on being so sticky, LOL.
friend of mine I invited to watch the show. She assumed I was inviting her to be on. It's like she's got the sniffles worse than I do, so not a good idea. So again, thank you all very much. We're going to wait for the team to come in. I know we said 6 today because of a couple different things. Number one, I wanted to make sure we were on and doing the thing, but I also wanted to make sure we had time to cover what we wanted to cover. And with that being said, I do want to bring in the man who was very gracious enough to take notes during the Hall of Fame ceremony, because we were on the air with Ring of Honor on Friday. Didn't get a chance to watch it in full in the moment. I got to watch it after the fact. And again, a beautiful ceremony that I talked about in the opening credits. But ladies and gentlemen, the partner that I've been working with the most the last, 12 years now almost. He is the Renegade himself. He is JJ Williams. JJ, good to have you back for night 2, my friend. It was well, like I said, it was very overwhelming to say the very least, between what happened last night at the end and everything that's happened along the whole weekend. It's been quite the emotional last few days. And right off the bat, I got to say, our buddy Lisa's watching along. She's home with the sickies. So God bless Lisa up in Canada. We love you up there, Lisa, and hopefully we'll get you better soon. And maybe when WrestleMania goes Hollywood, we'll get Lisa to finally go Hollywood, actually stay for a couple hours, hang out.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. So I do have the headset on, plugged into the TV. That way I actually hear WWE if I need to hear anything relevant. But you got the panel up there, so it's like Hall of Famers, cool, but not really all what we're doing right now. So Anyway. Again, first off, last night, you spearheading the Meacham Appreciation Society. Apparently, I guess we call you guys the Mass because it's we got the Jericho Appreciation Society, now we got the Meacham Appreciation. So thank you again for that. That was very it's very cool for me. So thank you.
No problem, sir. Like I told you, on air and off air, you deserve it. So.
Kayla's voice is too loud, even on low headset. Okay. I love you, Kayla, but just saying. So again, thank you to everybody from the chat so far. CJ's here, my buddy out in Atlanta. And yes, the Dodgers did indeed sign former Brave Craig Kimbrell today. So we're just poaching Atlanta bit by bit, piece by piece out here in La La Land. It is what it is. And I appreciate Daniel not only watching us, but also playing 2K22, which I hear is leaps and bounds freaking better than the last one they tried to put out there to the masses. So good job, 2K. Nicely done.
Well, put it to you this way. It can't be any worse than the one that I was just playing. Like me and Bruce, that's why I was late coming in right now. We were playing Super WrestleMania, the old Super Nintendo version.
Oh my God, WrestleMania, the arcade game. I love it.
Yeah. He had Macho, the Natural Disasters, and Sid Justice against me as the newest Hall of Fame inductee, The Undertaker, the Road Warriors, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Oh, so you're going back even to like that's old.
Yeah, this was Super WrestleMania.
Damn.
It was bad.
Yeah, they're bad. And I'm noticing off the top here on Peacock, they are making it clear we're doing the New Day match tonight.
Good.
Because again,
hopefully they don't just throw it out on the pre-show.
Yeah, we have a 2-hour pre-show on Peacock. We have a 2-hour pre-show here, but we're not doing a freaking where we're just gonna head here. We're gonna talk about everything. You're gonna have to wait 2 more hours to see. Oh no.
Now we've got some fire to speak about.
As I said, we've got your notes from Hall of Fame, your everything you talked about watching Friday night, and we've also got basically a glorified open mic night. But since it's early in the day, we're calling it happy hour open mic night. So there you go. Call that for what it's worth. Big G is here once again. Big G, I thank you for stopping in briefly. I know we kind of got a little rowdy yesterday, and that's probably why you bailed. Can't say I blame you. It was a little crazy, but it was all good. I see Ryan's here. Hello, Ryan. Good to see you. I see Raymond's here. And Lisa, I do appreciate that we love you, and we're glad you love us too. And hopefully, like I said, 363 days until WrestleMania Saturday, because they made it official. They're officially trying to break the Ginger Bank, trying to WrestleMania next year. So it's going to be a fun weekend to be sure. And I got it all. He and I, by the way, have got dads tentatively booked for next year already. We're going to change a few things around with the schedule update I'm going to give you guys at the end of the show tonight. But other than that, we're pretty good to go on the dad's front. But yeah, with WrestleMania definitely being here, definitely being 2 nights, there will be an extreme, obscenely high amount of content leading into WrestleMania. Ungodly, yes. That seemed to be the buzzword for me yesterday, so I'm okay with it. Ungodly is the way to go. Put it this way, I was just, again, adrenaline's a mucker feather. I've said that many times in recent days and weeks, but put it this way, based on what I'm figuring out right now, WrestleMania, again, is April 1st and 2nd next year, including the Raw after Mania April 3rd. I'm going to have 16 days, including the Raw after Mania, of some sort of content or another on this channel.
Yeah.
Because figure, we'll do Ask the Dads the previous week. We'll do Talk Wrestling both Tuesdays, Greg Sherry Show both Wednesdays. The Thursday before WrestleMania week, we'll have Impact predictions, and then Ring of Honor predictions, and then Mania predictions, NXT predictions. Dads will be that week, the Monday before WrestleMania, the exact Monday. That'll be probably our the Mania show we had planned out, which at this point was the top 10 WrestleMania final matches / main events, because that's the last match of the night, basically, what we're going to go with. Greg Sherry Show. And then I'm assuming, this is an assumption, that GCW is going to run a show in LA that Thursday night like it did this year. So my guess would be we'll be there Thursday night.
And Ring of Honor will probably do it.
Well, the thing is, Ring of Honor will be going up against SmackDown in the Hall of Fame. And yes, I'd love to be at a Ring of Honor show. I've never been to one before. It really depends who they have in the Hall of Fame. If Rocky's in the Hall of Fame, I'm going to be at the Crypt. There's no bones about, no way around that for me. So
yeah, no ifs, ands, or buts. If Rocky is going in the Hall of Fame, dude, I am there.
Exactly. So let me go ahead and bring in James. He's waiting patiently. James, good to see you again. Again, thank you for as I caught you while you're eating. Sorry about that. Probably should.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I knew I was going to eat anyway.
There you go.
There was no avoiding it when I was told, "Hey, we need to get dinner," and so
that's it. Yeah. And joining us tonight after last night is James's commentary partner over at I'm sorry. WYW. Mike is back. He was in the chat room yesterday. Mike, thank you for joining us as well today.
Just to be clear, that was Nikos in the chat, not X.
Oh,
they're two different.
Sorry, I apologize. Sorry about that.
That's the other mic on the.
There's
open
too many
mic.
mics.
Too many friggin' mics in this circle. But in any event, again, thank you all for what last night turned out to be. I mentioned to everybody at the top of the hour here that that was the most watched we've had as a watch along scenario since Revolution 2021, and the most watched WWE watch along we've done since SummerSlam 2 years ago. So I can't thank you guys enough. It's my second most viewed show ever on this channel, be it post 2020 return or pre. I mean, even the dads from back then. Last night's show was the second most watched live stream we've ever done on this channel.
That was freaking cool, man. I couldn't believe it.
Congratulations.
Well deserved, by the way.
Thank you. And again, with the super chats not even being factored into the revenue side of it yet, Jeff's going to be able to be okay in Vegas, and I'm okay with that. So,
amen, buddy.
I can actually go up there with this guy and his significant. We're going to do a UWW weekend. We may, depending on scheduling, timing, money, and everything, we may just stay for another company that's going to be in Vegas the week after that runs on a Turner network or something. But we're not sure yet. We'll see.
We're still definitely in the planning stages on that one.
A lot of variables between now and May 21st to 28th, but we'll see. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. Thank you, CJ. Again, so very cool. But JJ actually gave me some work to do, so we're going to go ahead and get into that here. Let me get the pictures loaded up here. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do.
While you do that, Mike, how was the work?
Right.
How was my 5 to 3:45 job?
Jesus.
It was all right, I guess. It's a gas station. I'm Mike at the gas station. Oh God. Oh God. I hope that doesn't become a series I start doing now. Hi, Mike at the gas station here.
No, I've been
This is
telling
welcome
you,
to the
dude.
gas station. How may I help you?
No, I'm telling
Oh,
you,
Lord.
dude. You should do that for like TikTok. You would blow up. You're fucking
Right.
hilarious.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely blow up the minute I activate pump 1 and douse myself in gasoline.
That's it. That's it.
No.
Good night, everybody. That's it. We know confirmation of attempted suicide. Cool. Okay, good to know. That's all good. But yeah, I worked at a truck stop before many years ago, and actually it's not the most glamorous thing in the world to say the very least, but it is what it is. So JJ, the Hall of Fame opened Friday night after we went off the air with SmackDown, as we were on the air with Ring of Honor here on the network with the Steiner brothers. And again, Braun Breaker said it himself, man, the riskiest thing of his career was handing Uncle Scotty a live mic, but they did well.
They did very well, you know. I'm kind of fixing my notes here so that it's all visible while I look at the screen here as well. Let me go back up. So, of course, Braun Breaker inducted his father and his uncle, which we all pretty much suspected but hadn't been announced prior. So, having the music hit and seeing Braun come out there, I kind of joked, you know, he cleaned up pretty well. Like, you didn't know what Braun was going to, how presentable Braun was going to come across. And he cleaned up really nicely. He gave a really nice, heartfelt speech, talking about his dad and his uncle, as me and Jeff kind of knew like he would. Because I had questioned his promo ability, because his promos on NXT are a little bit shaky to me. But, you know, like Jeff pointed out on Ask the Dads last week, he's not trying to cut a promo. He's not trying to put asses in seats. He's projecting the love of his father and his uncle.
Yeah, man, when I heard Breaker speak, he sounded so dead on. Like his father and uncle. It was eerie, dude.
You know, the first big thing that I noticed was that Scotty actually seemed like he was happy to be there.
Dude, when I saw Triple H and him together in a photo, that sealed it for me. That was so cool. When you, especially if you know the backstory behind their beef, I mean, wow. Like, who the hell thought Triple H could, we already knew he could help Vince's enemies reconcile and get them into the Hall of Fame, but to see him do it with one of his own, that's next level, dude. Especially with Steiner. That was a game changer, I think, for the future.
I've noticed some. I'm sorry, Jay. I know I'm talking
over
you.
Go for it.
But I was just I was talking with a friend of mine yesterday after. So Dylan's new school, his upcoming school, Canyon High School, where I went to school for 4 years, had their open house. So the incoming freshman parents got to go and see the campus like you've never seen it before. I've been coming here since I was 7 years old, but okay, sure. I walked down to the senior quad, which I hadn't been to the senior quad since 2001. And the English department's down there doing their thing. And one of the English teachers at the school was also a coach when I was playing football there. And he and I did not get along, to say the very, very least. Very least, because if I say any more, there will be a libel suit. Slander suit, I should say. So I walked down there, just kind of interact with everybody in the room and in the quad. This teacher coach walks up to me without seeing him and gives me a hug like we was family, right? And I told my friend who I went to school with for 6 years between junior and high school, it's like, I guess 25 years is a long time after all, man, because I never expected that guy and I would ever make nice, and we did. So if somebody that legitimately made me feel the need to walk away from something I'd wanted to do since I was 7 years old, that being playing high school football at Canyon High, being a Cowboy, if time to heal that wound, anything's possible. Even Hunter and Scott Steiner making nice. So that was super cool to see that. I honestly would like it to see if Scotty and Hulk Hogan can make with the nice, but I also know that Scott Hall's passing has definitely affected the NWO circle more than a lot of people have heard. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's exactly part of why everybody's kind of calmed down, because everybody knows that Scott was one of his best friends.
and everybody knows that Steiner and Scott Hall were very much a cool little knit group within the NWO circle. So
yeah,
again,
that's probably indeed. I actually
it
can
is
see
what
that
it
being
is, and it
why.
sucks, but it's one of those where it does bring people together, even in the shittiest way. But so hopefully that's the case.
Yeah.
I do think that it would have happened eventually, just probably not at the moment it did. And it really opened my eyes. When that happened, it opened my eyes because for two things. Number one, time heals all wounds. I guess I guess in some cases that's just it. I mean, never say never ever. I know that lesson now, and so did Cody.
Right?
That was number one, and then number two was, man, are shoot interviews hella important in pro wrestling, because like, even if it is negative in the beginning, it is a very good platform to express your transgressions. So that way, even if you don't agree with those transgressions, at least they're heard, and at least your voice is heard. And then eventually, even if you don't agree still, you can come to some sort of reconciliation.
Agreed.
However long it might be. It's hella important to keep shoot interviews alive. I'm so glad Casey Vaults is on YouTube now. God willing, YouTube stops dicking around with him. But like, it's just seriously, like, they are hella important to the industry. I didn't even realize how important they were until that moment when the Triple H and Scott Steiner pick happened. Like, that's really when it hit me.
It's one of those where, yes, they're important. It's just a matter of how far you let yourself go. There are some shoot interviews that have completely not torched a bridge, completely reduced it to ashes along the way. There's a lot of those. There's a good, and I mean a good chunk of the interviews we did on Extreme Mayhem and XMV that will never see the light of day again because of how much how much society has changed and how bad they age as a result. Just kind of is what it is.
Amen. Yeah.
Anyway, on to the next inductee. I think it was, well, I don't know if it was them for sure, but that's the next picture I have in the slide, Jay. So we're going to
hold on.
Go
ahead, Jay.
Okay.
There was other stuff I wanted to talk about the Steiners.
Go for it.
Because keep in mind, I made multiple notes about each of these inductions.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Yes.
Scotty told a pretty cool Mach story riding the roads with them.
Yeah, the cow story, man. I love that he told that.
Yeah, that was pretty funny to hear. The one thing that Scotty said that really resonated to me, and it was in that moment that you could see that he really appreciated what was happening that evening, was that he looked to the roster on the stage and reminded them to have fun. When
tears too, by the way.
Yeah, when
don't count that.
Yeah, when you think about everything that Scotty has been through and his past with WWE, and man, I remember going to the Frisco Fiasco and getting pictures with Scotty and Rick individually. They were both there next to each other, and somebody asked Scott, how did you like your most recent run with WWE? He was like, I enjoyed it about as much as my first run with the WWF. It fucking sucked.
Shit, sorry. I don't know why that's. I don't know how to make that not be a thing. Damn it!
You want to see me eat chicken?
No, not close up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got it.
Go ahead, JJ. Go ahead.
Look, you're the center of attention again. Crazy.
But
there it is. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay, there we go. But he was just telling the guy how much it fucking sucked and how the booking and the politics and everything just really kind of broke him down. And then we saw him go to TNA and do some stuff over there.
Probably added years to his career on top of that, by the way.
But I mean, for him to look at all those guys up there and encourage them to have fun, not just this weekend, but overall out there, and like James pointed out, in tears.
Yeah, dude.
That really helped resonate to me. And then when Rick got the mic,
for real, before you even get to Rick, I can't recall one moment where Scott Steiner was in tears. Can you?
No.
Yeah, like.
No. Unless it was like his fake retirement angle back in WCW.
Yeah, that's about the only time I can think of. Seriously.
Because I remember that angle where he was in the ring in a wheelchair and he was making like a whole fake retirement speech. Then he came out like at the next pay-per-view and just owned whoever it was.
This is brother again.
But then they give the mic to Rick, and Rick makes a joke about thinking that they would never get in the Hall of Fame.
He
gave Scotty the look. And it's like, it's because of you, MFer, that we took so long to get here. Like, come on.
Scott sarcastic, he's like, what are you looking at me like that for?
It was so great. It was an awesome way to open the night. You know, I had expected the Steiners to come a little bit later in the night. In all honesty, I thought Vader was going to be the curtain jerker. But it was a really cool way to kick the show off and get some laughs, get some tears, you know, everything that the Hall of Fame is known for. And then, next picture, Jeff, we get to Sharmell. And I picked this image for a reason because a couple of my notes are very much represented in this picture. But before we get to this, I'm going to go on record as saying I gave Sharmell massive amounts of shit when I heard she was going in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and then she spoke.
Before she spoke,
yeah,
there was one thing that was said in the video package hyping her up that made me reconsider the crap I had given her. And ironically, it was said by my girl, Natalia. She made a point about how Sharmell took Booker to the next level that he needed to be in the WWE. And I sat there and I thought about it for a minute. And I was like, you know what, girl? You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
He had been IC champion. He had been tag champ. He had even had another run with the WCW title within WWE. But it wasn't until Sharmell came and stood by his side that he had that classic series of matches against Benoit for the U.S. title again on WWE TV, where Randy Orton filled in the finals.
Yes.
It wasn't until Sharmell stood by his side that he became King of the Ring, which evolved him into King Booker, which evolved him into holding the World Heavyweight title for WWE. It all came down to Sharmell.
Yeah.
And Booker is standing there. He's giving his speech. And you can feel the love and the devotion that he has for his wife. And that comes back to why I picked this picture. Like, you can just look at the way the two are looking at each other. And I swear to God, man, you can kind of hear Elton John singing "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" in the background.
100%, brother. 100%.
And then he declares, "All hail Queen Sharmell," as she walks down to the ring. Much
it was
like
so
she
cool.
did to him.
That was awesome, man. What a way to pay it forward.
Seeing him give it back to her, and she relished it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I was a SmackDown kid, so seeing that was so nostalgic to me. And I hated these motherfuckers. I did. I hated the whole King's Court as a kid, man.
Yep.
Dude, I loved the King's Court if for no other reason because it was Booker, it was Finley, it was Regal.
It was Regal, it was Sharmell.
Dude, those were three dudes you did not want to mess with.
And then you got Sharmell, who really put the icing on the cake.
For real. And then to hear her give her speech and talk about all the people that really helped elevate her. And some of the notable names that I jotted down being Molly Holly, Medusa Maselli, Jazz, Rey Mysterio, Angle, even the Boogeyman, like she put over for all the times that he worked with her and scared the bejesus out of her, helping to get her over. Like, to hear her gratitude come back in her speech, you know, there's still a part of me that feels that maybe this wasn't the right time to do it. Maybe they could have waited because there's still some very deserving women that need to go in. But I take back all the hatred that I spewed towards Sharmell after her induction was announced. I apologize and I take it all back.
Yeah,
because that girl deserves it.
I do as well. I might have given a little less shit than maybe JJ did and a lot of other people did, but for real, hearing the way she spoke and how genuine she was and how she loved everything about the industry, and you could tell, like she loves this stuff, man. And
yes. She loves it, and she loves doing it with her man.
Yeah, and that's all the reason you need when it comes to something like that, I think. I mean, especially if you consider what the WWE Hall of Fame is as comparison to the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. You know,
WWE likes to think that it's the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. It's not, but it was definitely deserved after everything that a lot of us had said about her.
As a WWE Hall of Famer, looking at it back now, you can't disregard it. You can't. I mean, for a lot of other people, they might just brush it off their shoulders. Mike might, I don't know, but like for me, as a SmackDown kid, man, that was really cool. That was really cool to see.
Agreed. Then we get to the Warrior induction. Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
By the way, off screen, welcome Noah Foster into the room. We appreciate you coming in, Noah. We'll see you on screen here once JJ's done with his Hall of Fame. But thank you for coming along again. Thank you for your play-by-play that is impending, my friend. We appreciate you being here, brother. All right, let's see what we got here.
Then we get to the Warrior Award, and
I damn near lost it. I don't know.
Oh God, no! Hold on. Let me tell you something. Oh my God, that broke me. Just talk. That broke me. Man. Jesus.
I want before you even start, JJ. Mike, did you see this? Did you see this? You might not have. I just want to know if you have or at least heard of it. Is Mike even in? Okay, never mind.
It looks like Mike left.
Not even here. He left.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Fair enough.
I ask, please. I love the enthusiasm again, but let JJ do his thing. And then
go ahead, JJ.
When he's all done.
I thought JJ was. I thought Mike was still here.
No, it's all good, man. I understand. You know, like you were alluding to, though, man. This one, I was looking forward to, and I wasn't looking forward to, because Shad left an impression on me. So I was already in tears watching the video package before Dana Warrior even walked down that aisle.
Yeah, MM.
You know, and I'm going to try and hold it together. You can already see my lip quivering, but getting to see Jason, JTG, escort Shad's family to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see that hug right there that he's given Ciliana, Shad's wife. Man, as good of friends, like brothers as those two men were, you know that boy needs to ask for nothing in this world, that Jay will help take care of that boy for his friend.
Yeah.
Watching him, like I said, come down to the ring with them, doing the Crime Time taunt, you know, the whole dice roll and then the backhand 5. I was a wreck.
I thought it was Shad.
Exactly.
Seriously,
exactly.
I thought it was Shad the way he was acting,
and to see that smile on that boy's face, like, you know that he has probably not smiled that big when his father has been brought up in this type of way for a very long time.
In the middle of a
pandemic. I'm sure anytime his dad is brought up, he automatically goes to sadness and tears. So to see that smile on his face, doing what his father did with his father's best friend, essentially his uncle.
Yeah.
I did love the fact that Ciliana tried to make the crowd laugh a few times by telling some other Shad hero stories and mentioning how on one such occasion, you know, Shad stopped an armed robbery. JTG was present and did jack shit the whole time. Shad just did everything.
Yeah.
Cracking.
Which we heard after the fact as well, but it was just funny to hear her say it in front of the world. It's like, oh shit, she done knifed him out.
She did, but you know, it's like, man, you let your boy handle that on your own? You didn't even have his back?
I mean, to be fair, Shad's a big dude. He's 2 at JTG as it is. He probably didn't need his ass to help.
Yeah.
And then,
by the way, Ryan in the chat room, we're actually going to be starting their WWE show at 8 o'clock. They're starting at 8 because they're crazy, like we talked about yesterday, but they seem to want to get it all in a short amount of time. So we'll see how it goes. No, we're going to be on the air with this from 6 to 8 tonight, guys. Just a heads up in the chat room. Continue, my friend. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I address that before we got too far in.
It's okay. Yeah. And then seeing Araya hold that trophy in the air, man. The one thing I was waiting for was him to lean into the microphone and say something. And I get the nerves. I get maybe he was shy. I get maybe he was emotional. But I was waiting for an "I love you, Dad," or "This is for you, Dad," or something. But seeing him hold that trophy up in the air for his dad was just
awesome.
Very cool. All right.
Yeah, it was
Mike in real quick, and then we'll get the shot back up.
Mike, get back up. Back up.
There we go. All right, we're good. We're good. AJ. Next job.
So after that,
Whoever's making me echo, turn it down.
It's Mike. Mike, get back out of the call and go back in. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Trust me.
That's what we had. Hang on. We'll raise him down. I apologize.
Trust me. Yeah. I that happened last time. All you had to do was just back out and back in. As you were saying.
The man they call Vader.
Yeah. After that, we went to Vader, and Deborah, Vader's wife, had a couple of words to open the induction, and then his son Jesse took over, and I felt that this was a good little contrast from having seen Celiana speak on behalf of Shad and the son sitting there, and then this time the son did the speaking while the wife just kind of stood there. Jesse starts off by thanking all the boys that worked with Vader and the fans for allowing his dad to put food on his table for all those years. And it's something that doesn't get mentioned a lot in the grand scheme of things, is that this is how those guys provide their families with food. So to hear somebody's son thank them for that, I always feel is kind of a big deal. Jesse goes on, mentions some of Leon's accomplishments. 3-time All-American, University of Colorado. He played in the Super Bowl. 13-time world champ on 4 continents. Boy Meets World, Baywatch, the whole nine. Talk about multifaceted.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Vader's
Super Bowl champion which team?
Huh?
Super Bowl champion with which team?
He didn't say champion. He just said he played in the Super Bowl.
Oh, no. He was on the last Rams team that won the Super Bowl, I think.
Wow.
Oh, no. No, I'm sorry. They won it in St. Louis. I don't know why I thought they were champions. I apologize for interrupting you with a complete bullshit. Never mind.
All right.
Sorry about it.
Hey, Jeff, let JJ do the talking.
Yeah, I know.
But, I mean, Vader's one of those guys that, because of me coming in when I came in, Vader's best days were already behind him.
Yeah.
So I never really got to see Vader in his prime. So that's why some of those accomplishments you may know, the fans may know, but it was news to me to hear some of that stuff about him.
Yeah, same here. I didn't
and
even
then
know.
Jesse goes on to talk about how his dad was the perfect father, and how despite the wrestling schedule that only allowed him to be there part-time, Leon accomplished more in his time at home than most of Jesse's friends' dads did who were there full-time for them.
Exactly.
And that's another thing that really puts into perspective. It's not about how much time you have. It's about what you do with the time you have.
Yes. 100%.
And then, of course, Jesse and Deborah ended by asking the crowd to put their V's in the air. And what time was it?
Vader time.
As they revealed that Mastodon mask that's sitting there now. I'm assuming that's going to be part of the Hall of Fame collection, if there ever is a legitimate building, along with Taker's statue that got revealed, Flair robes, etc., that we've all seen at Access tours over the years.
Yeah, 100%.
And then we get to this. The Undertaker.
Wow.
Okay, now I'm gonna try and go through these. I have more points for Taker, obviously, than I do for anyone else. He was the main event. He went for damn near 45 minutes talking on his own. Doesn't even count his entrance or Vince's speech.
And that's not even counting the promo package.
Right.
As a production guy, I want to just bring this up real quick.
Okay.
And a theme guy. I love that they went with Sad But True by Metallica and mixed it with Kid Rock's American Badass. That was so fucking cool. That was so cool, man.
I enjoyed that too. I know a lot of Metallica purists that would be pissed about that, but I thoroughly enjoyed it too because I think it blended very well the dead man with the badass. But
yeah, I agree, 100%.
So if I miss a point here that you guys feel that needs to be addressed, please wait for me to mention what I have, and then we can take me off of solo mode and we can continue discussing about this one. But first and foremost, obviously, the outfits of the different eras behind him, like that really tells the story of a career right there.
Yeah.
Just looking at all of those, from the purple and the hat all the way to the other side, having the more Ministry era, to the more modern day trench coats. Just the only thing that really wasn't out there was American Badass Taker.
Yeah, I wish they actually had that, and I wish they had Big Evil, because I always count those as like two separate eras of that character. It was like, I think I contend, and I seriously contend with this, saying, American Badass was cool and everything for the time of the Attitude Era, but I believe as far as work rate goes, Undertaker turned it up a notch in his in-ring work when he turned Big Evil.
Agreed.
Some of the best matches of his damn career, and he was having them weekly. I still remember the match he had on SmackDown with Rey Mysterio in 2003. It was a tournament match to crown a new contender for the WWE Championship, which was won by John Cena. And it was him and Rey to start off the tournament, to kick the whole thing off. And just those two worked so well together. They always did, but that is probably the best match they've ever had. Honest to God.
Go back to the Vince image real quick, because I'm going to talk a little bit about Vince coming out. The crowd singing along to No Chance in Hell was just fucking awesome. It's like, love Vince,
I hate Vince, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
I love that shit so much.
I can only imagine, I can only compare it to what Jeff probably experienced on that cruise ship with everybody singing Judas.
Yeah,
or
man.
Us in the sweat box singing along the final countdown for Brian. To be in that building with all those people singing along to No Chance, regardless of how you feel as Vince as a man, a promoter, a character, that was a moment in of itself.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
And then for Vince to go on and mention how the Hall of Fame is his favorite night of the year, including holidays. He likes it more than Mania, more than Christmas, more than anything. The Hall of Fame is his favorite night. I feel that says a lot about Vince's character. Again, whether you like him or you don't.
Yeah.
That the night that they give back to the performers that lay it all on the line in the ring for us is his favorite night.
Yeah, I've said plenty of things about Vince, and Lord knows I've had, and so Mike and I have over the years, but like when I heard him say that, I was like,
yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard to hate him when he says
maybe
stuff
he
like
does. I'll let up. Maybe the dude does have a heart. I'll let up.
Yeah, while I keep talking and putting Vince over, I'm gonna take my camera off so my little image of me and Vince can be seen
Nice.
there.
Nice.
Vince then went on to call Taker the most deserving inductee that there has ever been. Period. More deserving than Hogan, more deserving than Bruno, more deserving than Flair, more deserving than Andre, who the Hall of Fame was created for.
Yeah.
Taker is the most deserving inductee that there has ever been and there ever will be. Period.
And I to add to your point, I don't think it's just WWE. That includes every Hall of Fame in pro wrestling. That's how far that man's reach goes.
And then Vince says that the greatest thing the Taker brings to the Hall of Fame is love, which isn't something you would expect for a Undertaker gimmick.
No.
Like, we're not talking about the man for a minute. We're talking about the gimmick. Love is the greatest thing he brings to that Hall of Fame. The love for the fans.
Yeah, love and
the
Jesus
for his
Christ.
peers. We'll get to that in a minute because that's definitely on my notes. But Vince gave the performance of his career last night, in my personal opinion, with what he said about Undertaker.
Yeah.
Vince can now ride away from this business because he has had that was everything for me, is watching him talk about Taker like he did. I'm gonna turn my camera back on so you can stop the solo shot. Then Taker comes out, and the first words out of his mouth that were audible was "I love you" to Vince.
Let's not understate, JJ. A standing ovation for 7 full minutes, which brought the Undertaker to tears.
I was going to get there because the ovation
absolutely rivaled Hogan's in Montreal. No question about it.
I was going to get there. I was going to get there, but the ovation came after that because he gave that hug and then the crowd really started.
Yes.
So I was going to get to that. But yes, the standing ovation, the "you deserve it," the "thank you Takers," the whole nine. But for the first words out of Taker's mouth to be "I love you," and you could visibly see Vince's mouth moving, "I love you too."
Yeah, that was really...
Again, it's always made fun of when guys tell each other that they love you.
I don't think
but
in this
but
case
to
you
see something like that, I always kind of feel it just shows the father-son bond that him and Vince have had over the years, and especially after his father passed, which he touched on in his speech.
Mm-hmm.
He thanks the fans first and foremost when he finally gets to talk after those 7 minutes. First thing he does is address us and thank us for everything.
And again, another man you've never seen in full tears.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
It's one of the things I had to explain to my daughter when we were all sitting in there watching it. It's like, this man is a badass. That is how he has made his career, both literally and figuratively, for 30 years. So to see him break down like that, you knew we were watching Mark Calloway as he told us he was peeling back the curtain and really introducing us to Mark that evening.
Yeah.
What was cool, Jay? He didn't really break down. He was in tears, but he was composed. He was classy, and Vince saying that he was the most deserving Hall of Fame inductee. It's like, fight me. Who deserve? And he was just so.
There is nobody else. I agree with him. This is one of the rare times I agree with Vince. I can't think of anyone more deserving of the honor. Seriously, that covers a ton of ground.
Go ahead, Jay.
I agree, Jeff. Went on to show love to the BSK, as we know.
Yeah.
The way he talked about Yoko the way he talked about Brian Adams,
Yeah.
Percy, who of course me and Jeff formed a hell of a bond with in later years over at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Yeah.
His 3 mental signature moves, which I know Jeff has begun to take to heart, posted all over social media the next day.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Perception is reality. Respect and loyalty go a long way, and never be content.
Mm-hmm.
Went on to show love to all of his kids. Gunner for his first wife of Jody, the 2 daughters he had with Sarah, Chasey, and Gracie, which that one was hard to see him talk about those 2, because the way he made it kind of come across, which was probably not intentional, is that Sarah's kind of keeping them from him.
Yep.
And that kind of pained me to see him have to mention them that way, because you could tell that he wishes that he could be around them more.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, of course, his 2 newest, Kayla Faith and Colt with a K, with Michelle.
Yeah.
Colt just looked so adorable there.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't even know that she had a new one recently. I
either.
didn't know that he had just had another kid.
That's how private he keeps his shit, which is good.
Exactly. You know.
Take notes.
Yeah, right? America.
Take notes.
Keep a lot of your personal shit off social media. And then the fact that he mentions that the greatest thing Michelle has done for Mark is restore his faith in Jesus Christ. And I sat there that night and I kind of cracked jokes, because here's the dead man.
Yeah.
The Undertaker.
Right?
Here's Big Evil, the demon of Death Valley, and he's walking around like he's preaching on a Sunday.
Dude, for real. It felt like a sermon, dude.
It did, man. I want to see him hit the public speaking circuit, much like DiBiase has done here in recent years.
Yeah.
I would sign up for a Mark Calloway seminar in a heartbeat.
Get him on TED Talks pronto.
That is the last official note that I have. So if anybody else at this point wants to jump in, bring up something that I missed, please.
The host, go.
Yeah. Thing is, JJ, it's one of those, Jesse was lucky to get DiBiase for what he got him for, because I think he and DiBiase were friends. I don't think we're getting Undertaker for that dirt cheap a rate to come out and see him. We'll probably have to sell sell some blood, sell some body parts, sell the kids in slavery, which I'm okay with all of those scenarios to meet the Undertaker, by the way. Sorry, Bubba, love you, but no. That's the one of the very few checkpoints left on my bucket list is to meet him and Nate down the line, and that would explain why we didn't know about it at all, because we've seen Michelle on TV recently, but she didn't appear. That is why. So,
yeah.
Thank you for the heads up, Lisa. We appreciate that as always. So,
I have a couple things I'll say about Taker, but for me it's like, and Mike also, I might be able to speak for here. He was a big part of our childhoods, and I know he was a big part, JJ and Jeff, in your childhoods.
Yes, sir.
And that speaks volumes, I think, because everybody in this call grew up with this guy.
Yeah.
That's how long this career has gone, man. Like, that's crazy.
100%. Like, I can't speak for you, James, or Noah, or even Mike. Feel free to pipe in here, but I know for a fact that man is Frank Meacham's favorite wrestler. I know that man is my father's favorite wrestler. I have seen him evolve from just before the ministry, on the highway to hell Undertaker, through the ministry, through the Badass, through Big Evil, through his return.
Yep. Yeah.
I have friends that are in the business that idolize this man, that this man is the reason that they went to a training school to lace those boots up and step into a ring.
Well, I mean, you're talking about a singular individual that defined 4 different eras of professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like 4 separate eras. And no one will ever be able to touch that career again. Nobody. There will never be somebody that close.
He'll be often imitated, but he'll never be duplicated. And even then, I don't know if anybody can ever imitate him.
Dude, there was no gimmick that has ever hit the WWE this hard before the first fucking night it appeared. Nobody. I can't think of one. Hogan, it took what, 6 months to a year? I can't think of
Hogan. When Hogan came up to New York from Florida, when Vince Sr. brought him in, he was over like Rover. I'm not gonna, discount that, but he also had Freddie speaking for him. He also was fed a bunch of guys, maybe a third of his size, to chew up and spit out for breakfast. That's the difference with the Hogan push. Undertaker, the minute that got that funeral, it wasn't even the gong, because there was no gong back then in 1990. When that funeral dirge hit and Brother Love walked him out there, you could hear the Hartford Center just like, oh shit, what's going down? What are we doing? And from that moment, for 32 years now, it's been like that every step of the way. Like I said last night during the Hall of Fame, when we were watching, we were watching when he came out for WrestleMania. Every time I'm getting them now talking about him right now, the Goosies, man, just every friggin' time with this guy. So
it's because he's a force that's never been seen before.
Yeah.
There's nobody to duplicate this gimmick ever again. No one. No. I don't care how good they think they are. Will never get close to the career. Never.
No. I was in a stadium in Central Florida in March, and I felt like I had jumped into an ice bucket when he walked out to face Edge.
Yeah, for real. And
I'm thankful that I was able to see him through. I saw him live as the Badass. I've seen him live as the Dead Man.
Yeah. I saw the Badass / Big Evil at pay-per-view and TV because I was part of the 2002 run with Brock when he faced him at Unforgiven out here at the place now known as Crypto.com Arena, of course, the Staples Center. Got to see, I don't think I saw Big Evil as, I did because I was there when he lost the hardcore title to Maven on SmackDown.
Yeah, you were.
Our boy Maven, Jay.
Yeah.
So, we've all been fortunate to have seen, most of us, the development of this character over the last 32 years, and to see, as we talked about, see Mark Calloway come out and say, all right, here's what it is. Perception is reality. Respect and loyalty go a long way, and never stay content. Never be content. It's like, if you take nothing else away from anything you see in life, in a motivational speech, in a talk with your parents, in a teacher's lecture, those 3 points, I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm sitting here, as we saw, last night, the countdown's on to WrestleMania 39. I'm counting down to 40. As I approach my 40th birthday, I'm in my 40th year. Those 3 lessons are everything, man. They just are. And JJ's got a few on me. He's going to be hitting the big 4 or 5 here in August, so we're going to be probably partying with him on that one.
4,
so 6. Oh, that's right. Who's 70? Oh, Mikey's the 45. That's right. That's right.
Mikey's a year younger than me.
Okay, good to know. I can razz him more. Okay, cool. Anyway, those, and again, I take those. I take Adam Pearce's. Work hard, treat people with respect, and treat people fairly, and or have respect and treat people fairly. It's like those 3 things are just so key from both those gentlemen. I do like Adam Pearce's 4th one, one that's on his shirt, which is "Don't be an asshole." But sometimes being an asshole is life. So,
but then you wouldn't have Mike and I. What are you doing, dude?
My dad is the most low key asshole in the history of the world. He'll embrace it. He's like, yeah, I'm an asshole, but he's a teddy bear. And I don't care if he likes me saying it on the air in front of the world or not. My dad's a teddy bear. JJ knows it firsthand. He's seen this shit. He can be gruff and Mr. sit like this for 3 hours at the hockey game and just not move a damn muscle. But he's a father, and he's loving, and he cares. Just like Pierce, just like Mark Calloway. So Those three men, I think, are just so impactful in my life as far as just seeing what they say and observing what they do and following the example to the letter. As far as the question,
Go ahead, Jeff. I was going to say, Noah, you've been awful quiet. Do you have anything you want to interject?
With Undertaker?
You guys pretty much summed up everything I think that's possible to say when it comes to the legacy that this man defined and will never be even replicated close. Again, I became a fan in 1992, and no matter what company I watched, no matter what I was doing, this guy was always part defining me of my fandom for sports entertainment and this business too. And when it comes to seeing the man under the black hat, the real person, Mark Calloway, at the end of the day, you just find a very humble person that led by example, realized his flaws, found peace with God, and at the end of the day, he finally can just now enjoy the rest of his life. He doesn't owe us anything else, but at the end of the day, he thanks us for everything, because without us, nothing that he's done would be possible. And he's an example to show that if you stick to what you truly believe in, you truly can do anything you want with your life.
Yeah, man. No, I think that's a perfect way to end that segment. Really, I don't think any one of us could
agreed
come up with anything
better. Not many men can, come back from having the worst WrestleMania match in history with Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah, true.
And still have a crazy career after that.
Speaking of Taker, can we zoom in on that drip real quick before we end? Man, was Taker on fleek tonight. Look at that at the Hall of Fame. Look at that shit, man. That suit is awesome. The relief work on that. I can't think of a more fitting suit for him to come out in for the Hall of Fame. Nah, man. I think this is better. I like that he came out in something that would be suiting for the Taker character. That's really cool.
That's fair.
That just looks dope. I love the
So I do have a quick thing. It's a little side because I didn't get the chance to fully watch the Hall of Fame. I only heard about bits and pieces through people. Did they go over Vader's career in Japan or no?
Yes, they did.
They touched on it kind of briefly, yeah.
The way his son described it is he was a world champion in 4 separate continents, which is
fair.
Fairly,
and that's absolutely true. But man, putting it as a segment is really doing it some injustice. God damn.
Well,
his matches with Stan are some of the greatest brutal one-on-one hoss fights I have ever seen in professional wrestling.
100%. Yeah. To me, though, I think the main reason why it was glossed over, for no other reason, is Taker, man. It was Taker all the way. There was a reason why there was only 5 inductees this year, and Taker is that sole reason. Period.
Agreed.
Period. And the only reason I'm sure that he wasn't the only inductee is because Taker was probably like, "No, you're putting more people in, Vince. Come on. People need some time and need to get recognized."
Especially Vader. My God, Vader and Taker were so close.
Yeah, man.
They were so I can. What is it? They had an interview with a gentleman where Vader flips the friggin' table.
Don't wait. Yeah.
You will never get 2 gentlemen that I will say defined what it means to be a big guy in professional wrestling. With Taker, it's one of the greatest work ethics in wrestling history. And with Vader, it's the guy who looks like that he wouldn't be able to get out of the chair can absolutely do a fucking moonsault. Why wouldn't he?
Exactly.
And you're gonna take that.
There were very few, even as a 7-year-old kid when I discovered wrestling, there were very few characters that legitimately scared the bejeebus out of me. Big Van Vader was one of those guys. I would fear for Sting's existence when they fought for the world title. I thought sure he was going to kill Flair. I really thought he was going to kill Flair in Charlotte.
Dude, that match was still great. Still great.
God, his battles with Cactus Jack. Cactus Jack lost an ear fighting Vader. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's Vader, but again, much like we talked about with a lot of these guys that are so big and so bad, He's a goddamn teddy bear. Leon is one of the coolest dudes. I wish I had a chance to meet him. I didn't get to, but I do know people that have worked with him. I've met people that work with him on Boy Meets World, and he was wonderful. So
he had again, that generation is like some of the greatest work ethic you'll ever. It's crazy.
Yeah, which is
that
so
new,
great.
That new generation era is fantastic. It's crazy. I honest to God still go back and rewatch the new generation era for how good all those athletes are. It's absolutely nuts.
The new generation era in both companies almost had to be great workers because the gimmickry was so
bad. Oh boy. Oh, you aren't kidding.
Allow me to get my dump truck. What the fuck?
I am Teal Hopper.
I'm the Brooklyn Brawler. No, I am a Yankees fan now.
Oh, good God Almighty! What freaking
knuckleball Schwartz, baby?
You can't beat the knuckleball. I'm coming after you.
This sounds worse. This sounds worse than the Shockmaster.
Yeah. If there was ever a jobbers wing of the Hall of Fame,
Brooklyn Brawler all day. Yes.
No. You're incorrect.
Since he got brought up this weekend, Barry Horowitz.
Yeah, Barry Horowitz. Yeah. I was just about to say, actually.
I don't know, Meg. You want to talk about Jobber Central? What about Brutus the Barber Beefcake? 17 gimmicks in 17. He is the guy that is the head of the wing. If there was like the archway above the door frame, he is the archway of terrible gimmicks. Yeah, the Booty Man, the Disciple, the Zodiac.
The Zodiac.
Yes. No.
If they ever do a Hall of Fame, they'll never do it, but I can imagine in my head. They're good. Bruce should get his own wing between the Zodiac, the Man with No Name, the Booty Man, the Barber, the Butcher, and the Candlestick Maker. Wait, no, that wasn't him.
There's been so many Brutus gimmicks that you can make a faction out of those guys.
And then the greatest gimmick of all, he gets thrown in jail for having anthrax in the freaking subway. Oh no! It was just cocaine.
Yeah.
You don't like the Disciple? You can't recognize it's him? Honest to God?
There was a serious point in my life where I couldn't tell who was Horace Hogan and who was Brutus. I looked at them and like, which one's which again?
Yeah, it's
like watching Jimmy and Jay Uso.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea feels about Ed Leslie, good on him. They came up together. That's great. But there's Hulk Hogan. And then with respect to our buddy Conrad, there's Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake.
Yeah.
No, they don't even on the same level. Okay.
Hey, I mean, Lord knows you could say a lot about Hogan as well. I mean, Lord knows plenty of people have, but I do not agree with forging a man's signature. Just saying.
Yes. Oh, okay.
That's brutal, dude. That's unbelievable. Like, I can't believe he does that.
Hey, listen. That means he has a really good set of penmanship if he's able to do that.
There you go.
John Hancock,
So
they can't be unmatched by anything else.
Wrestling has been crazy. And
hey, yo, Maria, NWO, respect.
Taker and Stone Cold alone made this weekend great. That was the first Stone Cold match I've been able to watch live. Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad we got to be along with the ride with you, Brandon.
Yeah, same here, I think.
Nico says, I'm like Undertaker's last words were the lyrics of just a Bieber song. I'm not a Bieber fan, but I'll take your word for it. But in all honesty, I'm stoked we finally got to. Couldn't think of a better way to end the Paramount legacy for Mark Helway. Yeah, like Vince said, there is no more deserving guy in the almost 30-year history of the Hall of Fame now. And again, I remember my point now. You mentioned something about Undertaker transcending all these generations. By the way, Maria, I just realized your NWO comment. Maria looks great in black and white, as she always does when she's around the clique of the NWO. God bless Maria Menounos. Anyway, we were talking about that Undertaker's transcend all these generations. Like Bruno was the guy in the 60s and the 70s. So was Backlund to an extent. Hogan in the 80s. The Attitude Era boys, Austin, Rock, Hunter, Foley. Nowadays, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, You know, the OVW4, if you will. Batista to an extent when he was around. Nobody has competed in so much for so long, and still, even in circumstances where his opponent was not up to specs, he still more often than not found a way. Undertaker,
he's competed in every era in WWE's entire history.
And it's one of those. I've since seen the tweet was deleted. I was gonna put him on blast yesterday, but somebody deleted the tweet that I was gonna completely tear to fucking shreds yesterday. So good thing I didn't screen capture it and wasn't a complete dick about it. Somebody tried to claim he's the most overrated guy in the history of the company, and I went, "What?
Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Seriously?
Yeah, there's
overrated.
No, like, really? Undertaker can't be rated near damn high enough. There is no, dude, even Meltzer's scale would freaking break trying to rate the Undertaker overall for 32 years. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. He is the single greatest character in the history of the business, period, in the sentence. And the fact that his work rate, for the most part, I'll put that little caveat there, stayed consistent is a testament to his
and improved
loyalty to the business and to the fans.
I do want to point out as well, by the way, to Brandon, we cool, bro. I agree with you.
Yeah. So Brandon came in and apologized, say what he said yesterday, and I timed him out, put him in the corner with the dunce cap on yesterday, and he didn't come back, and I felt bad, but he came in and apologized today. So Brandon, we appreciate the apology. Please continue to just come on in and speak what you want to say. Just again. Yeah. Personal attack stuff, I get. Trust me,
I didn't take it as a personal attack. A personal attack to me is like he just goes and straight up tells me.
James has been chewed out off air by me more than once about personal shit, especially toward Vince, because I like Vince. I do. I always have. But yeah, just keep the real. And again, we were talking about yesterday. The overly negative stuff. It's like I ain't got time for that shit on my channel.
Yeah, man.
So, anyway. All right.
And by the way, I do agree with you anyway, Brandon, because I actually did go back and rewatch the match again because I actually wanted to enjoy it and not be depressed. And now hearing what Cody said in the shoot interview, have a whole different perspective on it now. Just please, Vince, don't fuck him up, please. I beg.
Yeah.
Like, Cody, that's still a concern.
Cody talked to I forget which one of the freaking nameless, faceless girls is on that WWE interviews team these days, but he talked to her yesterday after the show, and he was just so overwhelmed and so glad to be back. And I really believe, at least in the short term, it's going to be okay for him. But he did apparently sign a multi-year deal. He is going to be around for a minute, so hopefully we'll get what we need to get from
title. There is no other way. Title. WWE World Heavyweight Title. Period.
He would be the first Rhodes in WWE and WWF history to claim that I was the WWE in some way or fashion World Heavyweight Champion. Until he does that, I don't see his career ending, and he has to do that. I feel like to feel satisfied.
Yeah.
At this point, nothing less will matter.
Nikos, if you're still in the chat real quick, can you do me a favor and copy the link to the stream and send it on the group chats that we're in? Okay, thanks. And tag everyone if you can.
JJ had his hand up there for a minute. Go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna touch on something real quick. Not really related. I was just gonna say to those of you guys out there that are watching right now, we apologize if we're not getting to all of your questions and comments.
Yeah, there's so many.
We kind of talked a little bit off camera yesterday, and we had a little bit of an idea what format we wanted to do before WrestleMania went live today. So if you do want to make sure your comments get addressed, don't forget to super chat. That'll catch our eyes.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing everything. So, yeah.
But there's been so much that's gone on in the last 48 hours with the Hall of Fame that we didn't really get to address last night, to an image that I want to talk about here momentarily that I saw get posted today. I told you about it, Jeff, that kind of had a little image of each of the matches we had last night and then the name of the agents that produced each match.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And, last night we kind of heaped praise or criticism onto the matches themselves, but I wanted to kind of give the agents their just due because they're behind the scene, and for the matches that really excelled, feel like we need to give the agents their just due. But Jeff, I know that you're, kind of clawing at the bit to try to reel things in. So if there's anything you want to, since it's your channel or your show, if there's anything else you want to do before we get to that.
I just want to get to everybody's comments here before I get too far down the rabbit hole here. Ryan,
Yeah.
This is a great week to be a wrestling fan. You had Cody coming back to the place you never thought he would. You probably Undertaker going to the Hall of Fame, even though that was the day before. But semantics. These are great times to be a fan, and that's what I've been trying to say.
100%. Yeah,
and
amen.
I put that post up Thursday night going into Friday, or even Friday morning. If you as a professional wrestling or a sports entertainment fan, whichever you prefer to call it, if you can't find just one thing out of the last 3, 4, 5 days that you can't sink your teeth into and enjoy as a fan, maybe you're in the wrong fandom.
Yeah, for real.
For real. Between Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, Impact's multiverse of matches, the Hall of Fame ceremony,
GCW,
Night 1 and Night 2 of WrestleMania, GCW, the Raw after Mania tomorrow.
Rampage.
If there's something that you can't even just find one segment that you like.
There was so much. And I'll read Jesse Davin's. You don't have to get it up this time, Jeff. I'll read Jesse Davin's tweet. Bloodsport ruled. GCW kicked ass. ROH Supercard of Honor gave us 2 potential match of the year candidates. Samoa Joe, All Elite. Cody Rhodes in WWE, and Stone Cold wrestling his final match in Dallas, book ending his career in Dallas, starting in Dallas.
I'm glad he went up against Owens. I think Owens, honest to God, put him on a pedestal.
Yeah, no
Austin
doubt.
Can still go, but Owens is the best person to give Austin anyway.
Yeah,
it's one of those started at the bottom and now look where they are. Owens put a tweet out this morning and it showed him as a fan, still new in the business, taking a picture with Steve Austin.
Yeah,
and
man.
The next picture was the stare down in the ring before it all started last night.
That was so cool.
Much love and respect to our boy, Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens, for being able to live that dream.
I will literally say what I said last night. If Kevin Owens retired now, I think he has nothing left to prove, for real.
Yeah,
he's a future Hall of Famer just for the fact that he and I'm convinced of this. No way. I'm thinking that the dirt sheets haven't said it yet, so I'll put my tinfoil hat on here. I'm convinced that this was legitimately as real as a impromptu thing as you could possibly get. I don't think Austin had any intention to wrestle. I think he may have hinted at it with Vince, but it wasn't until that referee came down that he made his decision in that ring. Mm-hmm. I'm convinced of that. And I think, honest to God, I originally criticized them not promoting it, but when I really thought about it, I genuinely think Austin wasn't sure. And until
there is nobody for that Austin could have wrestled in the company currently that is safe for Kevin.
Nope.
Like, honest to God, nobody that could have protected him to that extent. Honestly,
the only other one that could have protected him in any industry would have been Punk, and Punk's in AEW. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So
and getting to the producer segment, since we're talking about that match, Michael Hayes was the agent for that match.
Not surprised.
Not surprised.
There was a lot of Freebirds and Von Erich influence in that match, 100%. Brawling into the crowd. Yeah, brawling into the crowd, suplexes on the freaking big ass ramp onto both sides to give a great thing for the fans.
And James, before we get back to JJ, if he produced the segment and the match, Shane all over Texas, that is so Freebird.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, you kidding me?
That's Freebird all the way.
Without question.
100%. Yes. So
yeah, man.
Where we go with that, JJ? What was next?
I'll go back to the beginning of the night. Shinsuke and Boogs versus the Usos.
Write it off. I mean, we can't even say one thing or the other.
God damn, let JJ finish your fucking sentence today. Sorry.
I was going to say, granted they had to call an audible, but we can go for what we did see up until Boogs' injury. It was Sean Davari that was in charge of that one, and knowing and seeing the work that I've seen from Davari, I can feel that. I think he had something really good set up. It was a fluke. It was a fluke. You can't fault Boogs' injury. And again, we wish you the best, Boogs. We hope you get back sooner rather than later. But
my
Davari
opinion
was in charge of that segment, that match.
That's fair. This is why I say write it off. It's not even a disrespect to anybody involved. We didn't get to see much because of the injury. I think just for that alone, when an injury happens, you just kind of write it off. Like, nobody can be criticized because nothing went according to plan. Like, everything got screwed up. You know what I mean? Especially when it's that overproduced like it is in WWE. You can't go after them. Like, it's just unfortunate, bro. It just was poor. That's nobody's fault. It's just, as you said, it was a fluke. That's why I say write it off.
I feel you on that. My counterpoint to that is that they weren't going to use Boogs to carry the match. It was always going to be on Shinsuke. They were going to leave him for the hot tag, get the big man in there, knock people down, and then possibly get the pinfall or set Shinsuke up for the pinfall. So the fact that Shinsuke carried the whole first half of the match going against both brothers, you can kind of throw it into that aspect, because we all know Boogs wasn't going to do the majority of the storytelling anyway. It was going to be Shinsuke and the Usos.
It's one of those things where I'm not comfortable saying that for sure, because there have been times where, like, you think nothing of a tag team match, and then all of a sudden it's a freaking banger, and that could have been what we would have received, but we're never going to know because Boogs got hurt. So that's why I say you got to write it off.
Next match of the night was Happy Corbin and Drew. And for what it's worth, because we all kind of shitted on that match just to the storyline aspect.
Yep.
But the match itself wasn't as bad as we thought it would be. And
no, I'd say it's good.
That match belonged to Chris Abyss Parks.
Ah! Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
I can see Abyss's fingerprints on that. Okay.
Yep. Then a lot of that makes sense, actually, with the big man spots, now that I think about it. Yeah. Big guy producing a big man match, big house fight. Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
From there, it was the Mysterios versus Miz and Logan Paul.
Ooh, I'm
and
curious.
The agents of that match were Shane the Hurricane Helms and the Scrap Daddy himself, Adam Pearce.
Really?
That didn't surprise me, and I'll say that because Adam has a lot of experience working with the out-of-towners, if you will, the guys that come in for a one-shot or a short run, especially out here in UPW when he was working with them. He's booked Ring of Honor. He's kind of done everything there is to do within the realm of booking and executing professional wrestling. So him being on there doesn't surprise me. And we know Shane was heavily involved in the choreography and whatnot, along with Chris Canyon for Ready to Rumble. So Shane Helms being involved in that doesn't surprise me a single bit.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Adam Pearce help train Bad Bunny?
Yes, he did.
Probably.
Yeah. I would not be surprised if he had a hand in training Logan Paul. I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't surprise either. Like Jeff alluded to, man, the few UPW shows that I went to back in the day when Pearce was still out here, every time there was a WWE fly-in or a legend, it was Pearce that was going against him. It was Pearce versus Superfly Snuka. It was Pearce versus Page, because you knew that you were going to be able to get the best out of them.
Yeah, he was
think about how old Snuka was back then in 05, 06, and get the best out of Snuka. You need a world's class champion like Adam Pearce.
Yeah, there's a reason why he was a former NWA World's Champion, bar none.
Yeah.
He's one of the most forgotten, unsung heroes of that time period.
Exactly. From there, we went to the first women's match, Becky and Bianca, and I think it will be no surprise when I say these two names. That match was produced by Tyson Kidd and Molly fucking Holly.
Yeah, I'm not surprised in the slightest, man. By the way, bravo to those women. Holy crap! And
Yeah,
bravo.
I
to
still
people
feel
for
that
doing
was match of the night.
And I agree because it was a homegrown WWE match. It wasn't like they were trying to create a moment. This was a rivalry they've been building since SummerSlam, and it delivered on all fronts. They left it all out there, and Bianca Belair once again reclaimed the gold. Tremendous, tremendous match.
Yeah, 100%.
From there, it was the returning or debuting, depending how you want to look at it, American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah, second best match of the night, 100%. I watched it back. Wow. I mean,
Agent for that match was Jamie Noble.
It really
No surprise.
Yeah, Jamie Noble. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
For me, watching it back now after my initial depression that I went through last night, I watched it back and wow, like knowing what I know now and Cody's thought process, finally, that's what I wanted to know. That's what made me like a little bit more at ease with it and more at peace with it.
Mm-hmm.
Watching him rise out of that floor and hearing that punk-like response, like that arena erupted.
Mm-hmm.
It did
when he came out, and it was like a hero's welcome when he came out from that floor. Honest to
Very
God,
much so.
and
Very
it
much
was it really did occur to me. Wait a minute. There's no dashing. There's no gimmick change. There's no
smoke and mirrors.
There's no smoke and mirrors. There's no Stardust. There's none of that. It's the American Nightmare.
Yep.
Full thing, Sawn, wrestling has more than one royal family. The works. The entire presentation of what Cody built on the Indies for so long, finally a Rhodes is treated with respect.
Yeah.
No polka dots, no gold dust, nothing. The American Nightmare is here. That was cool.
Two things I want to point out about that match. Number one, we cannot take anything away from Seth Rollins from the way he carried that angle for a month before we even knew who his opponent was.
Yeah.
Granted, there was heavy speculation. We all kind of figured it was Cody, but Seth made that angle on television for an entire month.
He did.
Number two, Scatboy approved, I do believe. If Cody can win the title, he will be the first Rhodes in WWE to win a world title.
It did.
He will officially be the first Rhodes, not only to be a WWE World Champion, but to be a Triple Crown Champion in WWE at that.
It did occur to me as well, because as much as I hate the guy, Seth Rollins' opponent, which ended up being Cody, this was Vince's choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I don't think that's a work. Which, when I kind of put two and two together, I'm like, okay, this may be an AJ Styles situation. He may actually get the belt, and you son of a bitch, Cody, you're gonna get me to watch Raw tomorrow night. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Breaking news. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but I'm like, I want to hear what he says. I do.
Do what I do, James. Wait till Tuesday, watch the hour-and-a-half version.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I don't got time for those commercials.
We already touched on Steen, Owens, and Austin and Michael Hayes, so we'll move past that one. The other match, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, and I'm not that familiar with this name. Maybe Jeff and Noah can enlighten me a little bit, but Pat Buck was the agent on that one.
Okay.
He deserves.
He's AWA talent, like way back in the day. AWA talent.
Wow.
If you've seen recent TVs, Jay, the redheaded agent that kept getting smacked down by, I believe it was Nia at one point,
Correct.
and just constant shit beat out of him. That's Pat
Correct.
Buck, but he's been around for friggin' ever. He's a hell of a hand, as they say inside baseball. Great guy, knows his shit.
So those were the agents for last night. So once again, round of applause for them because
Yes.
those guys do not get the credit they deserve.
Amen.
For
Can I
booking the matches.
Can I say, Mike, I'm surprised you came out with that fact out of nowhere. I was like,
oh
whoa.
my God, Mike from time to time can pull up facts out of his ass. Who would have guessed?
Come on, Mike.
Hopefully, I'll be able to find out the agents for tonight's match for tomorrow's Ask the Dads, and we can do the same thing on there.
Yeah, 100%.
Sean will have it
that was
up.
really
He
cool.
always
That was
does.
really cool. I appreciate that actually, because like I'm not one for like the whole producing thing, like, but I can understand why you would.
Well, I mean, for starters, it's WrestleMania. It's the biggest nights of our calendar year, so I feel like everybody, you know, Taker stood there at the Hall of Fame putting over the costume people and all that stuff. It's like they deserve their just due this weekend too, not just the 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 people in the ring out there beating each other down, leaving it all on the line. The agents helped book the match, figure out where spots should go, you know, how to tell the stories. They deserve just as much credit as everybody else. That's why at the Oscars you've got best screenplay, best cinematography, best score.
Yeah, true.
And as much as WWE puts those over as entertainment more than sport, all those people are integral cogs in the wheels.
Exactly. It's not just about the picture or the actor and actress. There's all those other categories too.
Yep.
Does that mean wrestling needs a credit scene? I mean, it probably should. But
that's an easy answer there. Absolutely, I think so. Anyway,
it's really hard to do. I feel like it's hard to do because it's like, what do you do, like for a credit scene? Like they're trying to make it like a
same
sports
thing. Every other thing that has a credit scene just does. Just put a whole bunch of names at the end of the thing for like 5 minutes, and then you're done.
Just run it. Well, that shit. That's it.
Well, here's the thing, and because like consider this as well, even though they don't even consider themselves a sport anymore to a degree, even though they are. Football does the same thing. Like football doesn't do the credit scene, and there's like tons of producers and whatnot that like go and never get really mentioned too well, and it's just like, you feel bad, but it's like. Eventually they get their just due because they do get mentioned by people in the Hall of Fame, because there's really no other way to do it, because I don't think anybody ever considered it when it comes to a live sports presentation. So, there's that element as well to a degree.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much for letting me cover those segments that I really wanted to get into tonight.
Of course.
I return the reins of your very own live stream to you, sir.
So yeah, we're looking at just over a half hour until we actually go live out in Arlington, Dallas, whatever you want to call it, for WrestleMania. They've been kind of doing the whole recapping last night and just and of course JBL got out there and put himself over in Texas because that's what JBL does. Just a lot of cool stuff coming up here tonight. Like I said, there's a lot of great matches still. We're getting the New Day match they were supposed to get yesterday, so they didn't totally ask those guys out, which I know a Mania payday is huge for these guys. So that's loud. Sorry, hang on.
Yeah.
They just had the Cowboys on during the kickoff panel.
Yeah, I'm not shocked by that. Do we?
Loved it.
And CJ makes a good point too. We mentioned the age, we mentioned the wrestlers, the referees. I think a lot of times don't get a lot of love either, and I think they should too. So
refs are.
Unfortunately, I just don't have a list of all of them right now. So
I can get you that.
Yeah, that wasn't a thing on UJ because
no, I know.
The
I know it wasn't. I'm just throwing it out
so,
there.
Yeah.
I'm just letting CJ know, being as how I'm getting back into the swing of things, like the only referee I recognized last night was freaking Little Nate in the Ronda Charlotte match. So,
and here's the thing. Shout out to every ref. Just there we go. We give them the credit they deserve. Shout out to every ref. They are the ones all zebras deserve credit because they keep everything glued together.
Without them, there is no pro wrestling.
Yeah. And the cool thing, though,
having
about
refereed myself
it is so
over
far,
the years, it's one of those. I'm getting real upset about this. I needed Josh. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just saying, the cool. I just looked at the Wikipedia thing for the refs, and there was a different ref for each match. No ref overlapped.
Oh wow! Well, shout out to the refs then. Jeff, as you were saying, sorry, that wasn't me.
It's all right. It's one of those. Okay. Having refereed myself and being, JJ and I have been acquainted with Rick Knox over the years, doing refereeing and Wrestling Grill and everything. It's just been, I just felt like the referees didn't get enough credit. Now, again, a different referee for each match does not surprise me. There is a shit ton of people on that referees roster in WWE, so there should be a different referee for each match. That way that nobody's getting tired. And the fact that WrestleMania only had, if you count Austin being thrown in their 7 matches last night, that's one referee for each match makes complete sense to me. And I say that because 7 referees over the course of the night is not that many. When you figure people like Nick Patrick, and yes, it was NW pay-per-view, and yes, it's just a freaking hot mess when you watch it back 25 years later, but he refereed the entire night except for the very end of the tag team title match. So referees definitely have to go through a lot when they go through the training, when they go through the everything. They do it just like the wrestlers do, just like the managers do, just like everybody does. So they definitely deserve the love. And if there's a different referee every match tonight, that's great, because that means more people are seeing more talent come out of that performance center, come out of that WWE system, which we shit on quite a bit. We do. We criticize the system, the next level up, whatever the hell they want to call it. But that PC, I'll tell you what, man, if I had friends that I know are in the business now that had a chance to go to that PC, they would do it in a heartbeat and wouldn't even bat an eye about, oh, well, it's not the same thing. It's like, you know what? It's not the same, but your body gets beat to shit a lot less. So anyway, I'm sorry I started off from unprofessional. I apologize. Everybody's interrupted me today except Noah and JJ. And it's just like,
yeah, my bad. So okay, going forward, everyone, raise hand because we did discuss this before, except Mike because he can't.
That's what bugs me. It's like we all talked about it last night. So, all right.
Yeah, it just slips our head. Mike is an exception because his hand is erased.
No, I have 2 hands on that screen. If you look,
that's true.
There
was a hand.
He does have 2 hands. That's right. So Lisa, Ryan asked a great question. Let's go ahead and bring it back in before I completely derail this freaking stream already. What's everybody looking forward to? I'll ask around the room, and I'll start with the gentleman to my left on screen, our play-by-play man. What are you looking forward to tonight the most, Noah?
When I think about tonight's WrestleMania, I think about presentation. I think about the biggest thing that could come out of the night. I think about what could lie ahead, and it's not necessarily Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, despite that being built over the last 7 years. I look at AJ Styles, one of the best professional wrestlers of this generation. I look at Edge, one of the best sports entertainers across constant generations, with this new identity and this darker persona where I might see the ultimate opportunist redefined tonight. It's definitely Edge versus AJ Styles that I'm looking the most forward to tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with him. AJ and Edge, 100%.
Mike,
I agree.
Yeah,
honestly.
Well, if we're only going by shirts, JJ and I both got the Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Title match.
Oh, wow.
I saw he had his Natty shirt on, so I ran to grab my Natty shirt. But honestly, it's AJ and Edge. I'm kind of hoping that my little theory that I put out on Twitter today happens, just because if it does, I'll be able to hear Greg Cherry prolapse in excitement all the way from here. If we do get McMahon in every corner for McAfee and Theory. If Shane shows up in McAfee's corner.
I actually could see that.
Because Shane's there. Vince is going to be supporting Theory. If Theory brings Vince out, McAfee could easily
Well,
bring
but we'll
Shane
see if
out.
Vince actually does that. That's the thing. Just because Vince has been supporting him on Raw doesn't mean he'll actually trot his ass out there 2 out of the 3 nights. So we'll see. I hope I'm wrong, because even Vince, as old as he is or whatever, when he gets out there, the red light's on, he still gets in that Mr. McMahon mode. He gets a little wiggy. So I'm here for that if that's okay.
Yeah, but definitely Edge versus Styles.
Yeah, JJ.
You know, I hate to echo everybody's sentiment of Edge versus AJ Styles, but I'd be lying if I said that wasn't the one I was looking most forward to. I think second would have to be the Raw tag match with RK Bro, Alpha Academy, and Street Profits. And then, of course, your main event, Lesnar versus Reigns.
Yeah, I'm going to surprise a lot of people when I say that Edge versus AJ is not the one I'm most looking forward to. I am looking forward to that. I've been a fan of both the guys for many years, and I've not been quiet about my fan of AJ Styles, in particular, being a PWG Flyout TNA original. I love AJ Styles, but the match I'm honestly looking forward to most is the main event. And I say that because I'm anticipating what we may or may not see once that bell rings at the end and we have an undisputed champion and where the company goes from here. I'm looking forward to the match, definitely, because it has to at least deliver, if not over-deliver, based on the hype that's been thrust up its ass, right?
Yeah.
Agreed.
But if they do deliver, over-deliver, then I won't feel so bad about the theory everybody's talking about. Oh, what if The Rock comes out? I don't need Dwayne tonight. I'd love to see him.
No.
I'll pop like a mucker feather if he does rock out there. If you smell, I'll probably come out of this damn chair, probably break another one here.
But smell.
We don't shut up. We don't need him tonight. Like, I didn't think we needed Stone Cold to be the last segment, but I'm sure glad they did it. So I'm here for that. I'm okay with that. If Rocky shows up just kind of stands out there and just kind of looks and, all right, Roman, I got you. We'll see. The chat room is saying, let's see, the chat room is saying. So the chat room is saying Edge AJ quite a bit. There's all kinds of different things. Ryan is saying Lesnar Reigns, as I did.
We got a Shane and Pat McAfee. I am actually strangely looking forward to that.
I'm intrigued about McAfee and Austin Theory. I do want to see Shane come out there because it's like Austin Theory's, and again, I'm gonna sound like an old man. He's a great. The kid's got his shit together. He's a great athlete. He's a hell of a guy in the ring. He's funnier in hell to watch. Pat has grown on me like a parasite or a fungus. I couldn't stand his ass when he came in. I didn't like him in the NFL. I thought he was a horrible NFL personality. But damn it, the guy has done what he's done, and he's come up so fast. And as I look above the monitor here to the screen, I'm seeing the WrestleMania commercial for next year. I'm getting a little pissed because it's gonna be here. 363, baby. But McAfee in theory should be good. Whether Vince and Shane are involved or not, it's still going to be a fun thing to watch. I can't imagine Vince not getting involved in some way, especially if McAfee just starts dominating the kid and Vince just come out and go, give him the finger wag, and then Shane walks out there and goes, "Really?" Just stuff like that.
And then
that'd be cool.
He tears both quads by sliding into the ring.
Oh no! Oh no! Don't put that juju.
Son of a bitch! It happened again.
No more Vince injuries for at least the rest of this half decade. Wait till 2025. Yes. He can do what he wants there, but just keep him healthy for now.
My quads again. God damn it.
Well, to be fair, that's a long ass ramp he's got to walk down. He may tear it before he even starts halfway down.
That's true. JJ, you wanted to speak. Go ahead. You read me.
Hot take here. Assuming he can keep his nose clean and not fuck up backstage, Austin Theory is the future of this company.
Yes.
Oh,
amen.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He's got the look. He's got the charisma. He's got the mic abilities. Give the thumbs down if you want, Josh, but you cannot deny the talent.
Yeah.
You don't have to like the man, but you've got to respect the talent. And he's got the ability, the look, the charisma, the promos, everything to be on that next level that Vince is always looking for. Whether it's Cena or Orton or Reigns, he has the it factor.
Yeah.
He just needs to not jack up and get freaking wellness policy violations. He needs to make sure he's always on time, that he respects people. All those traits that we heard Undertaker talk about on Friday night. If Theory can keep his reputation like that, he's going to be golden for years. And in 5 years, he will be main eventing WrestleMania. You heard it here first.
And let's keep in mind, too, he was fucking wicked young when he made those mistakes as well. I think he's, you know, he's maturing, as they say, rapidly as well.
Lisa, when you say it's not complete until he's on the table, are you talking about dancing for Shinsuke or calling the matches? Because it can go either way.
Yes.
100% dancing.
Yeah, because
Pat
McAfee having a seizure on the table with Shinsuke's music is freaking hilarious.
Josh, you wanted to say something?
Oh, yeah, go ahead,
Josh. See, with Austin Theory, the thing is, his character is just so annoying.
Oh, I agree.
And I'm pretty sure I'm older than him now, which is scary. Now I'm the one who feels old. Jeff can rejoice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's wicked. I think he's older. I think he's younger than all of us in this chat. Actually, it's crazy.
And I just made Jeff's night with that. But see, he's good. He's good. Like, I like the guy. He's got the look. Like, he looks great. But with Austin Theory, I do have to say that I think I finally understand what it was like for the Cena haters, because I'm not a Theory guy. But because McAfee is still technically a celebrity, I do wonder if we will see a good old Scrap Daddy as a producer for this match. If he'll produce this one, or if he'll produce the Knoxville match.
Yeah, he's going to produce the Knoxville match. He's got to,
I think because Pat's been in the system as far as the PC stuff goes, I think you're more likely to see Adam produce Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn.
Let's put this in perspective too, Jeff. This man was trained by Rip Rogers. I think he's set in the ring. Okay, I don't think we got to worry about Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee's good. We know he's good. This dude could literally be a full timer tomorrow, and he could be the world champion. That's how good Pat McAfee is.
People were so convinced he was going to be a shitstorm, and he completely blew us away. JJ.
Yeah, exactly.
You talk about how Theory is annoying. That's the qualities of an amazing heel. Look at all the best heels in the business, going all the way back in time. They know how to get under your skin, but they back that shit up in the ring. Think about The Miz when he came out and he was the host of SmackDown. Then he came to the ECW roster and he was the chick magnet. And think about how bad The Miz gets under everybody's skin. Me and Jeff notwithstanding, because as we touched on last night, we go way back with Mike. Not back to Real World 10 far back, but almost that far. You know, him leaving Real World and entering the UPW system to train. That's how far back we go with Mike Mizanin. But you look at a guy like that and look at where he's come in his 15 years with the company.
Yeah.
The guy that got hazed and bullied backstage by JBL, that was told he would never make it. 2-time WWE champion, 2-time Money in the Bank holder because he took the briefcase off of Otis.
Yeah, on
multiple intercontinental U.S. tag titles.
Yep.
Austin Theory is that next generation of that heel.
Yeah, I can see that.
You've just gotta accept it.
I will say, the difference between Mizanin and Theory, at least booking wise, is I could kind of see where Josh is going, because with the way they're booking Theory on television is very X-Pac level heat. It is. We can't. I don't think we can really deny that. There's a little bit of iffiness there. The Miz, just anything he touched on the microphone, he turned to gold. Like, you know, and that's other than his Diva Search thing. Like, he has run with the mic ever since then. Like, that's the difference here, I think, because I look at those two, it's not really comparable because of the way they book him. Like, Theory is being booked like he's X-Pac back when he was feuding with Kane. I can understand why people are annoyed with him, because I think somebody even tweeted something out like Austin Theory is the next John Cena, which he absolutely is, the way he wrestles. But then it was followed up with a quote tweet. He sure as hell isn't booked like it. And that tells the entire story. So there you go. Go ahead, Josh.
Austin Theory, just even on paper, should never be able to beat Finn Balor, of all people, in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and then for it not to even be the Intercontinental title, like
US.
US. Sorry, I can't tell the titles apart anymore. Like, seriously, if you were going to have Balor not even on the card, at least give the title to Theory. Seriously, at least give the title to Austin Theory and have him and McAfee like fight for it on the card. Like, yeah, it doesn't need it.
Or even
crying out loud, it couldn't hurt.
title match, but you've got the champion on the show.
Right. Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get why you have 2 nights of WrestleMania and you can't even find time for your Intercontinental and your United States Championship. I mean, at this point, just merge it with the damn world title at this point, please. Because it like, there's no use for them if you're not even going to treat them as anything important. Seriously.
That is a very fair point. JJ.
Go ahead,
I
JJ.
completely agree. It's what me and Jeff have been talking about for the past month or so. I mean, you've got McAfee who's on the show. You've got Knoxville who's on the show. You got Logan Paul who's on the show. You've got the Omos match that was added last minute. You've got the New Day match that was added last minute. Granted, it was pulled from last night, but it's supposed to be on tonight. You know, you've got all this stupid stuff happening, but then you don't have those 2 championships. And it's such a disrespect and a disgrace. You know, how can those belts be the workhorse titles, but you're not good enough to get a slot on a 2-night WrestleMania?
Seriously, couldn't you have done a cool little thing too? At the very least, if you wanted to get both titles on them, yeah. I mean, at this point, I would have taken a tag match with those 2 titles on the line against a tag team. At least they're on the card finally. It's 2 nights of WrestleMania. There's no excuse for this shit. There's none.
None.
That would require good creative and smart booking.
Yeah,
well,
sorry about that.
To be fair, Vince has a big book right now of matches that he wants to pull from, and he needs 2 really distinct paperweights.
Shots fired.
Oh my god!
One for each side of the book. So that way, listen, Wynn gets into that room all the time, especially when, you know, he decides to exhale for once, and things happen. You know, shit. You know, you don't know what could happen. The Undertaker could come in and, oh my God, who would have guessed? A little desert snake came by. Oh shit, a tumbleweed. Where did the tumbleweed come from? Mark must bring them from home.
No, it's Vince. It's Vince brings the tumbleweed.
As far as that wind goes, does it come out of his ass or his mouth?
Oh, whoa, Noah!
The answer is yes.
Depends on the pay-per-view.
I'll be right back, gentlemen.
The answer is yes, Noah.
Noah, are you sure you don't want to join the Indy force? I mean, we got an extra. Like, if you're gonna snap that hard, you might as well represent with the correct colors.
Hey, Noah, good snap.
Oh my god. Terrible.
Oh, that's
Terrible.
beautiful.
It's incredible. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was so good.
See right there? That may not be controversial, but that's just fun.
that
That's
sure
it.
sounds
That's
fun.
just funny. That's it.